بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد, my brothers and sisters, all human beings everywhere have only one basic desire. Every time of history, every period of history, every geographical location, every culture, every religion, every race, all people have only one fundamental basic desire. And all that they do is to try to fulfill that desire. And that desire is to be happy. Right? The desire is to be happy. Take any human activity, it is geared to try to make you happy. Why do you accumulate wealth? To be happy. Why do you want good health? To be happy. Why do you want a good family? To be happy. Why do you want to live in a country which is secure, where you have rights and these rights are fulfilled? To be happy. Right? Why do you want to stay out of jail? To be happy. Take any activity. To be happy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us how to be happy. And the way to be happy is to have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the basis that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Khaliq and Malik and Razik and Hakim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. There is no one more merciful than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's based on the fact that whatever happens, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, whatever happens only by the will of Allah. Whatever it is. Whatever appears to be good, whatever appears to be bad from our perspective is by the will of Allah. It is not in spite of Allah's will. So if something is happening, which is happening by the will of the one who is the most merciful and the one who is interested in our welfare only, then how can that thing be bad? For example, if you go into an operation theater, and you see a surgeon operating on somebody. Maybe the surgeon is operating on someone who is very close and dear to him. What will you see there? Actual physical observation. You will see somebody with a scalpel, which is a polite name for a knife, who is cutting open the body of somebody else. There is blood everywhere. So that scene, is it a nice scene? But do you therefore hate the surgeon? Do you say, here is a person without mercy, here is a person who is cruel, here is a person who is murdering somebody else? No. Because you understand what is going on. You will not say that because you understand what is going on. If somebody says it, you will say, "Arey jahil hai, kya bekar baat karte?" You don't see what is going on. Ye kya is it? What is going on is the best thing that can happen to the patient. He had this tumor which is being removed. What is better than that? He would have died with his cancer or whatever. The tumor is being removed. The surgeon, is doing him a favor. And that's the reason why when the surgery is over, you pay the surgeon. So you're paying him for cutting you up. You're thanking him for cutting you up. Answer is yes. Why? Because you understand what's going on. You understand that this person who has the knowledge, more knowledge than I have, more specific knowledge than I have, who is concerned and about my welfare, who wants the best for me, is doing the best for me. Maybe that thing which is being done at that moment is painful because there is no other way. This is the only way. The tumor cannot be wished out. It has to be fished out. So that's the only way. But even though it's painful, he said, Alhamdulillah, I will bear the pain, because the pain of not doing that would have been much worse. And therefore, our scholars have said, seal the door of sadness. Nail the door of sadness with rida bil qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, La tahzan. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the Ghar al-Thawr, where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu were in this Ghar. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu said, Ya Rasulullah, if they look down, they will see us. The enemies who are at the door of the cave, entrance of the cave, he said, if they look down, they will see us. Rasulullah said, what do you say about two, the third of whom is Allah? And he said, La tahzan, inna Allah ma'ana. Inna Allah ma'ana. He said, have no sadness, have no fear. La tahzan. Do not have huzn. Verily and truly Allah is with us. Inna Allah ma'ana. He did not say, Inna Allah ma'i. Wa anta ma'i. Allah is with me and you are with me. No. Inna Allah ma'ana. Allah is with us both. So huzn, which is sadness, is to be dealt with, is to be removed by rida bil qadar, by being pleased with the qadar of Allah. One is to accept the qadar of Allah. We have no choice. What else will you do? We are helpless. May Allah Ta'ala keep all of you and me safe from all illnesses and ailments and calamities. But if somebody gets sick, what do you do? You didn't ask for the sickness, it came. Which I accept, of course you accept. What else will you do? Somebody dies, yeah, of course you accept. Some loss, some accident, we accept. Rida is not acceptance. Rida is to be say, Alhamdulillah. Ya Allah, you blessed me. You blessed me. With what? With this sickness. You blessed me with cancer. May Allah protect us. Now, how can cancer be a blessing? It can be the greatest blessing. It can be the best blessing you can ever get. May Allah protect us. But I am explaining to you. Because cancer will make you completely and totally aware that you will die. We should be aware anyway. You don't need to get cancer to be aware. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us, do not even trust when you make salam on the right that you will complete this salam. But when cancer happens, so for a believer, for a mu'min, if he gets cancer, he says, Alhamdulillah, Allah has given me some time to make istighfar and tawbah, to put my affairs in order, to write my will, to take care of whatever I have done. If there are some people's hukuk which I have not fulfilled, I now have time to finish all of that. That is why marg mafaja jisko bolte hain Urdu mein, the sudden death. Sudden death is not a blessing. It's actually a problem. It may look like a blessing. Somebody said, तकलीफ तो नहीं हुई. तकलीफ नहीं हुई नहीं. अगर सही तरीके से नहीं मारा तो अब तकलीफ शुरू होती. If he did not die on the right thing, his तकलीफ starts now. And suddenly he died, so he had no chance, no opportunity to make istighfar tawbah. Alhamdulillah, whoever died with Iman, we ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive them. I'm just saying this thing itself. So if somebody who has Iman gets cancer, then he is getting time to put his affairs in order to make himself perfect before he meets Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Alhamdulillah. And as I said, we make dua, Allah Ta'ala keep us safe from all of this. And may Allah Ta'ala give us this awareness without the cancer that we are going to die. Therefore, put your affairs in order, starting from now. Each one of us knows what we need to do it. Why do you need a cancer to come and remind you? So seal the door, nail the door of huzn, of sadness, shut with rida bil qada, with accepting the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah. The famous, I must have mentioned this story so many times. The famous story of Mahmud Ghaznavi and his slave Ayaz. So the story goes that it was a hot day in summer, so in the evening, Mahmud Ghaznavi and Ayaz, they were sitting on the roof of the palace, and the king was sitting on a chair and his slave was sitting on the ground, on the floor. And Mahmud Ghaznavi had a cucumber, kira. In his hand he was cutting this kira and giving it to Ayaz. So he was a slave and master, but they were also very good friends, and Ayaz was his advisor and so on. So they were chatting and he was, cutting this thing and giving it to him, and Ayaz was eating it. Finally, the whole cucumber finished, one piece was left. So Mahmud put this piece in his mouth. He ate this piece, or he tried to eat the piece. And one bite he took, he spat it out, he threw it, he said, La hawla quwwata illa billah. This thing is like poison. Itna kadwa, he said, it's so bitter. Some cucumbers are very bitter. And he said to us, how did you eat it? Eh? I gave you piece after piece. You never said anything. Even from your face expression, I could not make out that you were eating something so bitter and horrible. You should have told me. I wouldn't have given you. Ayaz says, Hai mere Malik, O my master, O my owner, I was so aware of the honor of getting this from your hand that whether it is bitter or makes no difference to me, I am getting this from your hand. आप मुझे अता कर रहे, आपके हाथ से मुझे मिल रहा, कड़वा क्या मीठा क्या, उसका जो इदराक कि आप मुझे दे रहे, अपने हाथ से आप दे रहे, आप अपने हाथ से खिला रहे, मैं इसका कंप्लेन, आई विल कंप्लेन अबाउट ला हौला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह. हाउ कैन आई कंप्लेन? यू गेव इट टू मी. And this is a human being to another human being. मालिक बोलने से मालिक थोड़े होता है. मगर जो हकीकी मालिक है, the real owner, al-Malikul Haq, La ilaha illa huwa Rabbul Arshil Kareem, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Jalla Jalalu, Amma Nawalu. वो अल्लाह को चीज़ देता रोते हैं. Allah gives us something and we complain. Allah gives us something and we are not happy. Inna lillahi wa inna. So nail shut the door of huzn, of sadness, with rida bil qada. Say Alhamdulillah. That's what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to say, Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. He said in one hadith, he said, how beautiful is the state of the Muslim. How beautiful is the state of the believer, of the mu'min. If he gets something good from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if there is some raha, if there is some pleasure, if there is some plenty, if there is something blessing, he thanks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore he is blessed. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala withholds something from him, or if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him something which is painful, he has sabr. He says, Alhamdulillah, ala kulli hal, in every state. And so Allah ta'ala rewards him. So both situations. Mila to bhi acha hai, nahi mila to bhi acha hai. So I remind myself and you, let us always keep this in mind. ये चले गया, वो हो गया, ये नहीं मिल रहा, वो नहीं मिल रहा. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, नहीं मिलने में खैर है, चले जाने में खैर है, मिलने में भी खैर है. दोनों सूरतों में उसका इदराक होना, to understand that both situations. Whether Allah gives or Allah takes away. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among the shakirin, to make us among those who are always thankful to Him Jalla Jalaluhu. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always help us to remember that He loves us more than anyone else, and that He wants the best for us. Allah wants the best for us, and therefore we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among the shakirin, among those who are always grateful to Him. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا الله.